Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to start with exercise 1.4. Question number 1 is find the union of each of the following pairs of set. So in union we write all the elements belonging from the first set or the second set. Okay, so the first part is x has elements 1, 3, 5, y has elements 1, 2, 3. So x union y will be writing all the elements of x first. We have 1, 3, 5. Now 1 we have already written from set y. Remainings are 2. So we write comma 2. This becomes our set x union y. Similarly, we have second part. It says A is set of all the vowels and B is ABC. So A union B will be A, E, I, O, U. Now writing the elements from the second set, A we have already written, remainings are B and C. So this becomes our set A union B. Third part we have is, it says A is a set of natural numbers and multiples of 3. So A will have elements like this 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on. The limit of the set is not mentioned, so it is an infinite set. Next we have set B. It says x is a natural number less than 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it says less than 6. That means 6 will not be included. So A union B will be. So we can start writing the elements of the set which is finite. So we can start with B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we come to set A. 3 we have already written. Now we will write the remaining elements 6, 9, 12 and so on. So this becomes our A union B. Next we have set A as question number 4, part 4. We have A as x is a natural number and x is greater than 1 but less than equal to 6. X is greater than 1. So that means it is not 1, it is greater than 1. So we'll start writing it from 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 because there is equal to sign there. So 6 will also be included. Next we have set B. It says x is a natural number and x lies between 6 and 10. So 6 and 10 both will not be included because there is no equality sign there. Okay, so we'll have the elements as 7, 8 and 9. So A union B will be, we start writing the elements of first set 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have 7 from set B, 8 and 9. This becomes our A union B. Now we come to fifth part. I'm writing fifth part over here. Fifth part says A is 1, 2, 3. Set A is 1, 2, 3 and set B is 5. So A union B will be, now 5 has no element in it. So A union B will be set 1, 2, 3. We have already discussed yesterday that when we take union with 5, we get the set itself. So A union 5 will be equal to A. So our next question is, let A is equal to A comma B, B is equal to A comma B comma C. So we are given set A and set B. Now they are asking, is A is a subset of B? So the elements of A are A comma B belongs to A. Also A comma B belong to set B. Therefore we can say that A is a subset of B. Now what is A union B? So we'll write A union B. A union B will be, we start writing the elements of A first, A comma B. Now elements of B are A comma B comma C. So A and B we have already written. We are left with element C, so we write that down. This we have the set A union B with us. Now next question, if A is a A and B are two sets such that A is a subset of B, right? As we had in question number 2. A and B are two sets where A is a subset of B. Then what is A union B? So we are to take the same example. Let A is equal to A comma B comma C, and let B is equal to A comma B comma C comma D comma E. So I've just molded the example a little bit. So now I am writing down that A is a subset of B. Why? Because all the elements of A are contained in B. So I can write A is a subset of B. Now, if I'm evaluating A union B, so A union B will be A, B, C. Now the elements of set B are A, B, C, which we have already written. Remaining elements are D, comma E. So A union B, we get it as equal to set B. Therefore, we can say that if A is a subset of B and if A is a subset of B, so A union B will be equal to set B. A union B will be equal to set B. Similarly, if we have B is a subset of A, if B is a subset of A, then this will imply A union B will be equal to A. So the union of the sets will be equal to bigger of both the sets. So question number 4 says if A is equal to set 1, 2, 3, 4, B has elements 3, 4, 5, 6, C has elements 5, 6, 7, 8, and D has elements 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're asking us to find in the first part A union B. So A union B, that means we will write all the elements that belong to set A as well as set B. So we'll write the elements of set A first, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the elements of set B are 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 3, 4 we have already written, we are left with 5 and 6, so we'll write that. This becomes A union B. Second part, it says find A union C. A union C will have all the elements in A and C. So A has elements 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll write that down 1, 2, 3, 4. Set C has elements 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. This becomes our A union C. Similarly, we have the third part. It says find B union C. So elements of set B are 3, 4, 5, 6. And elements of C are 5, 6, 7, 8. Where 5, 6 we have already written in the union set. So we are left with 7 and 8. We'll write that down. This we get B union C. Now they are asking B union D. Fourth part is B union D. So again elements of set B are 3, 4, 5, 6. Elements of set D are 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is B union D. Now in the fifth part they are asking A union B union C. That means elements of set A as well as B as well as C. So we'll start writing them. So set A has 1, 2, 3, 4. Set B has 3, 4, 5, 6. We have already written 3, 4. We'll write 5 and 6 down. Set C has 5, 6, 7, 8. Again 5, 6 we have written. We will write down 7 and 8. So this is the desired set. Next, sixth part we have. They're asking A union B union D. That means we have to write down all the elements of A, B and D. So again writing the elements of A 1, 2, 3, 4. Now elements of B are 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4 we have already written. We will write down 5 and 6. Similarly, elements in set D are 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll write that down. 7, 8, 9, 10. This becomes our set A union B union D. Now they are asking find out the set B union C union D. B union C union D. That means we will write down all the elements of B, C and as well as D. So start writing the elements of B first. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have elements in C as 5, 6, 7, 8. We have already written 5 and 6. So we'll write down 7 and 8. Similarly, in set D, we have written 7 and 8. We are left with 9 and 10. So we'll write that down. So this is our desired set B union C union D. Now question number 6 says if set A is equal to 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, set B has elements 7, 9, 11, 13, set C has elements 11, 13, 15 and D has elements 15 and 17. So the first part they are asking us to write down A intersection B. Now when we write down intersection, that means the set will contain only the common elements of A and B. So A intersection B is equal to, now what are the common elements in A and B? It is 7, 9 and 11 because 7, 9 and 11 is present in both A and B. So 7, 9, 11. Second part says find B intersection C. So B intersection C will have the common elements of B and C. So common elements are 11 and 13. Part 3. It says find A intersection C intersection D. That means we will write down the common elements of A, C and D. Okay, so first in order to simplify this, we can write down the common elements of A and C first. So we can evaluate A intersection C. A intersection C will be common elements of A and C. So A has elements 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and C has 11, 13, 15. So common element is only 11. So A intersection C becomes 11. Now we can find out this intersection with D. A intersection and now we are writing down intersection D. That means now we'll see the set A intersection C and set D. Now set D has 15 and 17. Set A intersection C has element 11. There is no common element in both the sets. So the intersection will become 5. That is empty set. Part 4. It says find A intersection C. So common elements of A and C. A has 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Set C has 11, 13, 15. So we have already evaluated A intersection C, that is 11. Now fifth part is B intersection D. So B has element 7, 9, 11, 13. Again D has 15 and 17. There is no common element, so the intersection will be an empty set, that is 5. Okay, now we are doing the sixth part over here. Sixth part. Sixth part is A intersection B union C. A intersection B union C. Now there is a bracket on B union C. That means we are going to solve this union first. We are going to resolve this operation first. So B union C will be writing all the elements of B as well as C. So B has 7, 9, 11, 13. Elements of C are 11, 13, 15. 11 and 13 we have already written. We are left with 15, so we write that down. Find this, we have evaluated B union C. Now we are taking the intersection A intersection B union C. That means we will write down the common elements of set A and the set that we have got after resolving the union operation, that is B union C. So the common elements will be, okay, now let us see what are the elements of set A. It has 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. B union C has 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. So the common elements are 7, 9 and 11. So this is our desired set. Part 7. It says find out A intersection D. A intersection D. So again, common elements of A and D. There is no common element between the set A and D. That means it will be 5. Okay. Now it says find out. The eighth part says A intersection B union D. A intersection B union D. I'm doing 8th part here. A intersection B union D. So again we have to find out B union D first. So B union D, we have all the elements of B and D together. B has elements 7, 9, 11, 13. 7, 9, 11, 13. Then we have elements of D as 15 and 17. So now we have got B union D. Now we are going to take the intersection with A. So A intersection B union D. That means we will write down the common elements of A and B union D. So A has elements 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and B union D has 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. So the common elements are again 7, 9 and 11. So now we have the ninth part. Ninth part says, I'm doing ninth part here. Ninth part says, find out A intersection B. Then intersection B union C. So we need to write down A intersection B first. We have already evaluated 7, 9, 11. Now we have B union C. This we will write down B union C. Okay, B union C also we have evaluated in the sixth part. So it will become 7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. Now our desired set will be, we will take the intersection of both these sets, A union B and A intersection B and B union C. So A intersection B intersection with B union C. We will get, now common elements are again 7, 9, 11. So this is our desired set. Okay. Now we have the 10th part. 10th part says, find out A union D intersection B union C. So we have already evaluated, I think we have already evaluated B union C. So we can write that down directly. We evaluated B union C in the sixth part. So it can be 7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. Now A union D. That means writing all the elements of A and D. A union D. A has elements 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. D has 15 and 17. So this becomes our A union D. Now we will take the intersection of both these sets. So A intersection D intersection B union C. Common elements in both the sets will be 7, 9, 11 and 15. 9, 11 and 15. So this is our desired set. So now we have question number 7. It says if A is equal to X such that X is a natural number. So we will write the elements of set A. We will write the elements of set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. It will keep going on because natural numbers, set of natural numbers is an infinite set. Similarly, we have set B which says X such that X is an even natural number. Again, this will be an infinite set beginning from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. It will keep on increasing. We have set C, it says X such that X is an odd number. So it will begin from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and so on. Then we have set D, it says X is a prime number. So now 1 is neither prime nor composite, so we'll start writing it from 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13 and so on. Now the first part they are asking us to evaluate is find out A intersection B. Now we have to write down the common elements which are lying in both the sets A and B. So the common elements are 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. That means this will be again equal to set of even numbers, that will be equal to set B. So A intersection B will be equal to B. Okay, we can conclude one more result from here, that is now we can say that B is a subset of A. All the elements of B are lying in A. B is a subset of A. So if we are asked to find out A intersection B, this will automatically become set B because the common elements will be in set B itself. All the elements of B are elements of A as well. So their intersection will be set B itself. Similarly, we have the second part. It says find out A intersection C. Now A intersection C will be common elements of A and C, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and so on. That means this will become set of odd numbers. Also C is a subset of A. Therefore we can say that when C intersection A will be C itself. Fine. Now the third part says we have to find out A intersection D. A intersection D, that means common elements of A and D. So D has elements prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. A has elements all the natural numbers. So the common elements will again be 2, 3, 5, 7, right? And so on. 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on. So again we get A intersection D as set D itself. One more result that we get is D is a subset of A. So A intersection D will be set D itself because all the common elements of A and D will lie in set D itself. Therefore, the intersection set will be set D. Now we have the fourth part. It says B intersection C. B intersection C. Now B is set of even numbers. C is the set of odd numbers. Now we cannot have any common element in both the sets. Therefore, the intersection will be an empty set, which is 5. Now we have fifth part. It says find out B intersection D. So B we have set of even numbers. D we have set of prime numbers. So the only common element in both the sets will be 2 because 2 is the only even number which is prime. So intersection will have 2 as the element. Okay, now we have sixth part. It says find C intersection D. Find C intersection D. Now we have C as 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and so on. Right? Now D we have all the prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 13. So C intersection D will be all the prime numbers which are odd. C is the set of odd numbers, D is the set of prime numbers. So this intersection will be X such that X is an odd prime. So the resultant set will be all the odd primes 3, 5, 7, 11, 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. So in short what we can say that other than 2 all the elements are common in C and D. So C intersection D will be set of all odd primes. Okay. Now we have question number 8. It says which of the following pairs of set are disjoint sets. First of all let's revise what are disjoint sets. If A and B, the intersection of A and B is 5, that means there is no common element. No common element. Then we say that set A and B are disjoint sets. So now we have set 1 in the first part. Let us consider A as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, set B, we can consider another set as B. It says X is a natural number and x is greater than equal to 4 and less than equal to 6. So the elements will be, we will include 4 and 6 as well. 4, 5 and 6. So A intersection B will become, now what are the common elements? Only 4, which is not equal to 5. Therefore A and B are not disjoint. Are not disjoint. Okay, this is the first part that we had. Now we have the second part. It says set A is equal to set of vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U. Set B is C, D, E, F. C, D, E, F. So now we have A intersection B as only E is common in both the sets. So we can have A intersection B as set E. E is the element of the intersection set. So this is not equal to 5. Therefore, again A and B are not disjoint. Are not disjoint. Okay, now the third part, it says x is an even integer and x is an odd integer. So there is no any integer in which we can say that it will be both even and odd, right? There is no integer existing such that in which we can say that both the integers will be even and odd. So we can say that in the third part, A intersection B will be equal to 5. Therefore, we can say A and B will be disjoint. So now we have question number 9, which says if A is equal to set 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, B has elements 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, C has elements 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and D has elements 5, 10, 15, 20. Now we are supposed to find A minus B. So let's first revise what is A minus B. A minus B will have elements x such that x belongs to A, x does not belongs to B. That means we only have to write down the elements of A which are not present in B, which are only present in A. So first part here is A minus B. Now we have to write down the elements of A which are not present in B. So it can be 3, then we have 6, then we have 9. We cannot write 12 because 12 is also present in B. So we will not write 12. We will write 15, 18 and 21. So this is our set A minus B. Similarly, we have second part which says find out A minus C. That means we'll write the elements of A which are only present in set A but not in C. So now now set A has 3. Set C does not contain 3. We can write 3 then. Then 6 is present in set C. We cannot write 6. Then we have 9. 9 is only present in A. Then we cannot write 12 because 12 is present in set C also. Then we can write 15, 18 and 21 because they are not present in set C. So this is our set A minus C. Third part, it says find out A minus D. That means we have to write down elements which are present only in A, not in D. So these elements will be 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 21. Now these elements are only present in A, they are not present in D. D has only 5, 10, 15, 20. So other than these elements, all the elements from set A will be A minus D. Now we have the part 4. It says find out B minus A. That means all the elements which are present in B but not in A. So all the elements present in B not in A are 4, 8, 16 and 20. All these 4 elements are only present in B but not in set A. So this is B minus A. Next we have the fifth part. It says find out C minus A. That means we have to write down the elements present in set C but not in set A. So it will be 2, 4, 8, 10, 14 and 16. All these elements are only present in set C. They are not present in set A. Right? So this is C minus A. Next we have part 6, which says find out D minus A. That means we will write down all the elements present in set D which are not present in set A. So elements present in set D not present in set A are 5, 10 and 20. We cannot write 15 because 15 is also present in set A. So D minus A will be 5, 10 and 20. Now part 7 we have, it says find out B minus C. That means all the elements which are present in B but not in C. Now B has 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. C has all these elements except 20. So B minus C will be the set which is having element 20 in it. So this is B minus C. Next we have part 8. It says find out B minus D. That means we will write all the elements present in B but not in D. So that will become 4, 8, 12 and 16. Why these elements? Because they are only present in set B, they are not present in set D. That is why B minus D will be 4, 8, 12, 16. 4, 8, 12, 16 are the elements of B which are not present in D. Right? So now, next we have part 9. It says find out C minus B. This means we will write all the elements in C which are not present in B. So they are 2, 6, 10, 14. All these elements of C are not present in B. All these elements 2, 6, 10, 14, they are not present in B. That is why C minus B will be the set of elements 2, 6, 10 and 14. 10th part we have D minus B. That means we will be writing all the elements of D which are not present in B. So elements of D which are not present in B will be, except 20, we will write all the elements 5, 10, 15 because 20 is present in set B and D both. So we cannot write 20 as an element of D minus B. The elements will be 5, 10 and 15 because they are not present in set B. Similarly, we have the 11th part. It says find out C minus D. That means we will write down all the elements of C which are not present in D. So it can be 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. All these elements of C are not present in D. Therefore, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. All these elements will be the elements of set C minus D. 12th part that we have is write down D minus C. That means all the elements of D which are present in all the elements of D which are not present in C. D minus C will have the elements of D which are not present in C. So this will be 5, 15 and 20. Because when we have 10 as an element of D, 10 also belongs to C. That is why we cannot write 10 as an element of D minus C. So D minus C will have elements 5, 10 and 5, 15 and 20. So now we have question number 10. It says X is the set with elements A, B, C, D. Y is the set with elements F, B, D, G. We are supposed to find X minus Y. So X minus Y means, first part, X minus Y means writing all the elements which are contained in X but not in Y. Writing all the elements which are present in X but not in Y. So A is present in X, it is not present in Y. So we'll write down A. Similarly, B, it is present in X and it is present in Y also. So we cannot write B as the element of X minus Y. Next we have C, it is only present in X. Then we have D, it is present in both X and Y. Right? So it cannot be the element of X minus Y. Therefore, the elements will be A minus C. Next we are supposed to write down the set Y minus X. That means writing all the elements of Y which are not present in X. So if we say element f is only present in y, it is not present in x, so it will be an element of y minus x. Similarly, b is present in both x and y, so we cannot write it. D is present in both x and y, we cannot write it. Then we have g, so f and g are the elements of set y minus x. Okay, now the third thing they are asking us to write down is write down x intersection y. That means we need to write down the common elements. So common elements of x and y are b and d is present in both the sets. So x intersection y will be b comma d. Now question number 11, it says if r is the set of real numbers and q is the set of q is the set of rational numbers, then what is r minus q? Okay, so r is set of real numbers. Now real numbers is a set of both rational and irrational numbers. Real numbers comprises of rational and irrational. Rational numbers and irrational numbers. So if q is the set of rational numbers, then what is r minus q? R minus q will be the leftover numbers, which is irrational number. So r minus q will be set of irrational numbers. Okay. Then we have question number 12. State which of the following statement is true or false. Justify your answer. First statement that is given to us is the set with elements 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3, 6 are disjoint sets. Now let us consider the set as A. Now it has 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly set B has 3, 6. Now in order to find out whether they are disjoint sets or not, we need to see what is the intersection of A and B. So intersection of A and B, that means writing the common elements of both the sets. So 3 is common in both the sets. 3 is not equal to 5. That means their intersection is not empty. So therefore they are not disjoint. Not disjoint. Hence statement 1 is false. Next, second part we have set of vowels. So A can be A, E, I, O, U. Then we can have set B as A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Now we can see that small letter A is common in both the sets A and B. So A intersection B will become set with element small a, which is not equal to 5. That means the intersection set is not empty. So again they are not disjoint. Not disjoint. Again the statement is false. Now if I have the third part, it says set A is equal to 2, 6, 10, 14. We have set B is equal to 3, 7, 11 and 15. So now what is A intersection B with us? Is there any common element in both the sets? No, there is no common element in both the sets. That means the set will be empty, which is equal to 5. So we get A intersection B will be equal to 5. That means they are disjoint sets. They are disjoint sets. So this particular statement, third statement is true. Now we have the fourth part. It says A is equal to 2, 6, 10. B is equal to 3, 7 and 11. Now what is A intersection B? Is there any common element between both these sets A and B? No. So A intersection B will be empty. That means it will be 5. So A and B will be disjoint sets. They are disjoint sets. They are disjoint sets. So we can say this fourth statement will be true. Okay. So now we have completed our exercise 1.4.